So tonight, we're going to look at trust. Okay, and I want to start with definitions. Quite simply, and I want to keep this really simple, trust means confidence. When I trust somebody, I have confidence in them. I have confidence in their integrity. I have confidence that what they will say, they will do. I have confidence in their commitments, that they will follow through with their commitments, that they will not break their commitments to me. I have confidence in them. So mistrust is to be suspicious. So we've all experienced broken trust. I mean, we're human, right? And even in our most important relationships, there is broken trust that takes place. So, I mean, and we have a certain tolerance for that happening, but we become suspicious. What if they do it again? Right? So, Betty Ann shared with us a really huge thing that's happened in her life and in her marriage. So, and it's impossible at some level for Curtis not to go, what if this happens again? You know, that is a trust issue that will have to be addressed and dealt with for you to have a healthy, intimate relationship with them. So, but there's suspicion. Right? And some of us we're just suspicious people.
Or we're too damn trusting.
Or we're too damn trusting. So, so broken trust is really, this is what happens when trust is broken. Suspicion turns into caution. And so instead of making the choice to be open and vulnerable and willing to really step in and take the risk in a relationship, we become cautious because we don't want to be hurt. We don't want to go down that road again. It's too painful. So we become cautious. And then caution is what leads us to building walls. We might call them boundaries, because boundaries is one of those buzzwords in our culture today that sounds really healthy. I'm going to raise up some boundaries so that I won't be hurt in a relationship. But oftentimes, boundaries become walls. And walls is what shuts people out. And they shut you in. And when you shut you in, this is really the path of isolation and loneliness. Okay, anybody experience isolation and loneliness? Okay, some of you are not willing to admit it. But that's a hard place to be. We were convinced that, if I just pull back, if I isolate for a while, I'm going to figure this out. I just need some alone time. Does that sound familiar? Does that kind of talk go on for you? Right? Just give me some time to figure this out, strategize, come back at this, and 2 years later, we're still isolating. And in my work in counseling, the most common issue that comes up, especially with women, is loneliness. It is. I'm amazed at how often this issue comes up. And when loneliness gets painful enough, then we begin to make poor choices about who we're going to trust. And we start making, the wrong choice about people that we're willing to trust. Or we stay in relationships that are really toxic and unhealthy and even abusive because we're afraid of being alone. So, how important is this? It's really big. So isolation and loneliness leads to preoccupation with self, which really leads to mental illness and addiction. Not a very nice picture, is it? But the more we isolate, the more that we choose to be alone, the less we are willing to trust ourselves, to keep taking the risk and putting ourselves out there. This is what leads to emotional illness. And our culture, which is incredibly addictive, this is a big part of that. So we go to behaviors that just are not healthy because we're afraid we're going to be hurt. Now, I know that sounds really, simplistic at one level, and you're looking at me like, yeah, but you don't know my story. Well, the thing is, you guys, I know most of your stories. And a lot of it does come down to some pretty simple choices that we make.